last 5 years, we've seen an impressive amount of improvement within the city of Marysville, whether that means park improvements, waterfront improvements, needed road repairs, or more. These are all thanks to the hard work and unity in our city council and city administration as they strive to make the city better for all of our residents. A key member of the city administration is Mr. Randy Fernandez, Marysville's city manager. Mr. Fernandez, since the implosion of the DTE plant on November 7th, 2015, it has almost been 2 years now. We've seen the site finally cleaned up. What new things will be going on with that property, and what type of things will be developed there?
Well, there's not a week that doesn't go by where someone's asking what's going on with the DTE site. CDC out of St. Louis, Missouri purchased the property from DTE. Everything was going along well. They had hired a few subcontractors for the demolition project. Unfortunately, the subcontractors that bid on the property basically did so for the scrap metal. Those prices went in the tank, and as such decided to pull off the job. Thus, litigation has occurred, unfortunately. The good news is we hear that by spring of 2018, litigation should be resolved, and then we'll be proceeding with plans to hopefully develop the property.
Being in charge and running a whole city must take a lot of work, and with a responsibility so big can come some problems. What are two of the biggest issues within the city government you guys have been facing recently, and how do you approach and tackle them?
Well, I think the first one that jumps out is pensions. Pensions and health benefits to our employees and to our retirees. There's a lot going on with Lansing with pension and what's called OPEC reform. In fact, I just got something on my desk this morning about it. It looks like the legislators are going to pick that up. We're not in favor of a one-shoe-fits-all policy that some cities want to implement. We value our employees and our retirees. We want to give them the benefits that they were promised when they retired. So we're staying on the issue as best as we can, but if state law changes, we will have to implement those changes. So that is something that's affecting the bottom line of the city. The city contributes well over $1 million every year into the pension fund. But again, we believe in the team approach at the city, and we'll do our best to protect our employees' rights. I guess the second one you just mentioned earlier is the DTE site. I mean, that is the big economic driver of the future of Marysville. We hope when litigation gets resolved that, we could have a water park there, we could have a marina there, we could have high-rise condos there. Something that'll benefit all our residents, something that'll be a destination, something that will provide a tax base and jobs to our residents and others. So we'd like to get that going, and hopefully, again, that is something that we'll all be proud of down the road.
The Little League program brings in a large number of people to the city. What new plans do you have for the park with the baseball diamonds, and what will that look like by next summer? Also, what new opportunities will this bring for Marysville and the Little League?
Well, this is an initiative really driven by Mayor Damon and the rest of the council. There's about 700-800 kids that belong in Little League. We value that. They've come to us, and we are going to spend about $250,000 in renovations there. The renovations basically all new fencing, drainage, the backstops will be moved back. Bottom line is that we want them to be, I'll say, quote, Little League approved, so that we can host more tournaments here. By doing that, it's kind of an economic driver to the city. The ancillary benefits is that hopefully people will come and see Marysville for the first time. They'll buy food here, they'll buy gas here, they might go to Myers here, other places. So again, it's all about getting the people here and staying here and visiting our city. So that project should be done by opening day, May of 2018. We're really looking forward to it. And I think all our residents will be happy with the way that the new fields will turn out.
The Marysville Recreation Department runs numerous summer programs and brings in a ton of kids in from all over. We see that the program is continuously expanding and may need a new building. What might a new building look like, and what will happen to the old one?
Well, there's really going to be no new building. The mayor and council have decided to spend $275 for improvements at the old fire hall, which is technically the rec center. So it'll be basically gutted for the most part. There'll be a new floor, new bathrooms, new handicap accessible entrances. So again, another project we're looking forward to. Barry Kreiner of our DPW is in charge of that, as well as Little League fields. Why do we do that? Because under Barry's leadership, we'll save money. We don't have to hire a foreman. He is the foreman. His DPW staff will do a little bit of the work, but most of it will be done by electrical companies and HVAC companies. It has no air conditioning there. That's a big thing in the summer. So air conditioning will be one of the $275,000 items to be included. So it'll drive more people to the park. Our recreation director, Stephanie Denard, is looking forward to it, and we are as well.
While we're on the topic about the park and other public improvements, could you tell us a little about the bike trails and what's going on with those recently?
Well, bike paths are a big thing. Councilwoman Rita Hendricks is big on bike paths. She's a big bicyclist. She's traveled around the country biking. There's a big following for that. That's another economic development driver if you can get all those cyclists into your community. Someday we'd like to attract our bike paths all the way down to the Macomb Orchard Trail, which goes for miles and miles. So we're finishing up about a $300,000 project right now. Most of that was grant money that's gone through the park, which will attach to the trail that's already existing there. So again, something we're real excited about, and that project should be completed late fall 2017.
We understand that there have been some renovations happening at the Public Safety Building. Could you tell us what things have been put in and replaced?
Well, unfortunately, when that building was built, I was not here at the time, but I heard that the roof leaked from the minute they cut the ribbon on the building. So unfortunately, it's always leaked. Don't know why it's never been rectified in the past, but it doesn't matter. That project is currently underway, should be completed early November 2017. Basically, all roofing has been replaced, a new HVAC system on top of the public safety roof. They've done caulking all around the windows. They've done a few other things to make sure that it is almost leak-proof. We have a good 20-year warranty now, which we will enforce if there's any more leaks that occur. So again, you know, it's a building that our police and firemen are in. We need to make sure that that building is properly enforced for them. Nobody wants to work around a leaky building. So again, it's another project costing us about $400,000, but we're getting most of that money again from the sale of 1515 Boucher Highway. So it's basically a wash in our budget going forward.
Anyone who visits Marysville can see that there is constant renovations being done to the waterfront, making it look better, cleaner, and safer for people. What new things have been done in the past year, and what things does the city have in plan for the future?
Well, over the last 3 to 5 years, we've spent $7 to $8 million along our waterfront and park area. The good news is probably about 90% of that was grant money, only 10% to city coffers. So we've lately put in a new like fishing pier. We've also redone the parking lots. We've put up picnic tables, a new snack shop down there, a fish cleaning station. We've redone, there was a failing seawall. That's been replaced. So it's all about tourism, trying to get people down to the waterfront. Port Huron and St. Clair are doing other such projects. We're proud of the projects that we've done. They've now carried over into the park with the bike paths and things that we've mentioned. So again, if you haven't been to our waterfront lately, we encourage everyone to come on down. I think they'll be very impressed. I just walked there yesterday, and there was at least probably 100 people down there. It was such a beautiful day. There were people kite skiing, I'll call it, in the water, jumping out of the water on their boards and whatever. It was great to see. And it's because of all the improvements that we've got down there. And a lot of that credit goes to our DPW department that's done a lot of the work.
Lastly, we hear rumors that the city may have plans to build a new city hall. Can you tell us about whether they're true, what would be happening to the old city hall, and where and what will the new city hall look like?
Well, we did a review of the present city hall at 1111 Delaware. HRC, an engineering firm out of Southfield, Detroit, did the survey for us, and they found that over the next 5 to 7 years, we would have to put $1.4 million to get City Hall up to basically where it should be. It's only going to cost a little more than that to build a new City Hall. So plans are being developed, again, it's not a done deal yet, council's not voted on it, but we've had a few meetings on it, that a new 9,000 square foot city hall, no basement, would be put next to the public safety building, land that we already own. So it'll be just down the street. So if we go ahead with that project, we probably move in within the next 2 years or so. Presently, City Hall has been appraised at $450,000. So we try to sell that building to offset the cost of the new building, which should be around $1.8 million or so. So again, my job as city manager is to give the council options, to gather the data, to inform them as much as possible, and then I think early here in 2018, council will decide whether they want to move forward with the project or not.
We thank City Manager Randy Fernandez for joining us today, and we wish the best of luck to the City Administration and your many upcoming projects. I'm Mason Damon.